Republican Senator Ted Cruz claims that he is shedding his snakeskin and emerging as a totally new individual that pretty much is the exact same of what he used to be. But no, Ted Cruz wrote an op-ed this week where he denounced the Republican practice of coddling corporations here in the United States, even after the big scandals. Here's a sampling of what Ted Cruz wrote. This is the point in the drama, and he's talking about the Republicans being pissed off at these so-called woke corporations who don't like their repressive voter suppression strategies. So this is the point in the drama when Republicans usually shrug their shoulders, call these companies job creators, and start to cut their taxes. Not this time. This time, we won't look the other way on Coca-Cola's $12 billion in back taxes owed. This time, when Major League Baseball lobbies to preserve its multi-billion-dollar antitrust exception, we'll say no thank you. This time, when Boeing asks for billions in corporate welfare, we'll simply let the Export-Import Bank expire. Don't threaten us with a good time, Ted. We would love to see these things happen, by the way. Corporations in the United States have too much power, and it's because of people like you. You're the reason they're the way they are today. You're part of the reason. You're not the only person, obviously. You got plenty on the left and the right who do that. But you're right in that it is mostly the Republicans. The Republicans typically do back down when they get mad at a corporation and say, okay, well, we need your corporate money, so we're going to give you the tax breaks, we're going to give you the subsidies, we're going to give away the farm at the expense of taxpayers so that you can give us more money so we can run our campaigns. And Ted Cruz said, ain't happening. He continues. In my 9 years in the Senate, I have received $2.6 million in contributions from corporate political action committees. Starting today, I no longer accept money from any corporate PAC. I urge my GOP colleagues at all levels to do the same. For too long, Republicans have allowed the left and their big business allies to attack our values with no response. We've allowed them to ship jobs overseas, attack gun rights, and destroy our energy companies. Yet none of that actually happened, Ted. So, man, you were so close. You were so close to actually making a really good, valid point, making a stand, and then you had to be like, hey, don't forget all these things from my fantasy world I've created that aren't actually real, because wouldn't be a Ted Cruz statement without a bunch of lies thrown in there. Dude, God, man, you were honestly, dude, you were that close to actually getting a good point across before you had to claim that Democrats have been the party of big business when literally in the sentence before that you said it was Republicans. Like you literally contradicted yourself, you big oaf. And I think you know that. But here's what's really happening, okay? Ted Cruz, yes, he's pissed off at these so-called woke corporations. He claims he's not taking corporate PAC money, so it'll be great, probably in a couple months where we get to do a video saying, hey, Ted Cruz is still taking corporate PAC money, because we know it's going to happen. We know that is going to happen. But what he's doing, this actually has nothing to do with the corporations. Ted Cruz does understand that right now there's a lot of public backlash against corporations, and he sees that not because of the wokeness, but because of the support among the public, left, right, and center, to raise taxes on corporations. So, he is positioning himself as this kind of populist, anti-corporate Republican and saying, my fellow Republicans, I'm leading the way, follow me. Because that is going to be his pitch to Americans when he runs for president in 2024. That's what this is. This is the groundwork. This is Ted Cruz putting in the effort, although we all know it's a farce. Don't give him credit for it. He's not actually going to do these things. So that he can go and sell it to the public later. He's making these big grand statements because they make for good campaign advertising. Ted Cruz knows what he's doing here, but we all know that he is not about for 1 second to take any of those privileges away from corporations. I would love it if he did, but even if a snake sheds its skin, like Cruz is trying to do, at the end of the day, he's still a snake.